What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam. This is Jordyn. It's once again been another break week last week with another episode. We've been kind of crazy with our schedules recently. And this is going to be the last episode that we'll have for about a month because it's wedding time for me, for Jordyn too. She's got 2 weddings next weekend.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things going on. I'll be on my honeymoon, so we'll have a nice month-long summer break, but we have so much to catch up on. How are you doing? How has, your day been, this beautiful weather?
I'm doing great. Couldn't be better.
Like we haven't been talking to each other for the last 30 minutes before.
Yeah, me and Sam basically had a full podcast episode prior to this on our own. But no, I'm doing really good. And I honestly could not be more excited to see you for your big day next weekend. I absolutely cannot wait. My dress was just delivered today, so I cannot wait to try it on.
Yes, queen.
And oh my God, I just can't believe I feel like since I've known you, like it was like talking about you and Michael getting engaged, and then you and Michael got engaged, and now it's been talking about the wedding, and now the wedding's here. Like it's just, I can't wait.
Do you remember that TikTok sound that was like, oh God, I don't remember how it starts, but it's like, can't believe that I'm walking the streets of the first ever city because I'm not.
Yes.
That's in Iraq, which is a million miles away. That is like that was like me thinking like, wow, I just got engaged. Just kidding. Your wedding's next weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, very cool, very cool, very cool, very cool. I still have stuff to do. I have a welcome mirror to make. I got so much stuff to do. But at this point, like the chips will fall where they may. Like I'm just rolling with the punches. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to do that or not. But then like I genuinely was like, I am a control freak. So I'm like, if things aren't going well on my wedding day, how am I going to feel? And I've been in 2 weddings now as the maid of honor where I've watched both of my best friends get married and they were so chill. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be like that. But now, like leading up to it, I mean, I guess I'll see on the actual day, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm like, it's just going to be one big party. Things are going to go wrong. Like it's bound to happen. You can't have like an event go perfect that big at least. So, but whatever happens, happens. As long as my friends and my family are there and my soon to be husband. That was a crazy thing that I said last week. I was at kickboxing and the woman who owns the gym has she's got like a 2-year-old daughter who like runs around, and I don't know why, but babies in me are like magnets. They just like attach at my hip and they're just like, I need to know everything about you. So I had like my phone is like a picture of Michael and I, and she was like talking to me and she's touching my phone. She goes, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And I was like, I can't say the word fiance to a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to know what that means. So I went, that's my husband. And I went,
I like how the first time that you ever got to address Michael as your husband was to a 2-year-old child that you just casually met at kickboxing. Like,
I know, it was like so like jarring, and I was just like, and then she was saying it back to me. She was like, husband, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, holy shit, that's gonna be my husband, and I'm gonna be a wife.
Now, here's something I love to ask people that are engaged: is saying fiance funny to you?
It's the worst ever. I hate it.
Yes. Okay. Because I'm so like, I just want to go from boyfriend to husband. Like fiance, I just feel like you're showing off every time. Like,
yeah, it's such a pretentious word.
Yes, like for what?
I literally like I started saying like my husband to be because I was like, that sounds less pretentious for whatever reason. But yeah, no, like when we obviously we first got engaged, I was like, my fiance. And like after like a month, I was like, this sucks.
Yes.
And I even think I like made it like a random TikTok saying like, it was so embarrassing. Like after being together for so long, like, and you get older, like you're like, this is my boyfriend. And like, that's embarrassing in and of itself. And you're like, whatever. Moving on to I would have rather been a boyfriend than fiance. And then I was like, well, how am I going to be with husband? So I like tried it out and I was like, this is my husband. This is my husband. And I was like, oh my God, so much easier.
Yeah, no, husband is so fun. Oh my God, I cannot wait for that. But fiance scares the shit out of me.
No, it's
I want
horrible.
to say that I'm a fiance. I don't want to address my fiance. Like,
Typing it out is not bad. Like writing it in like an email or something.
yeah.
Like I'm like obviously like I emailed a lot of vendors and everything. So I was like, my fiance and I, like that was not bad. It's just
Yeah.
saying it out loud. So I was just like, this is my husband to be, to like my
And
wedding people.
also, if someone's like, "Oh, is this your boyfriend?" and I'm like, "Oh, fiance." Like,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
that's
Like,
the worst. The absolute worst. Or if someone like introduces like their partner and they're like, this is my girlfriend. And then this is like, well, this is my fiance. And you're
yeah.
just like trying to one up them when you're really not.
Yeah.
You're just
It's
trying to
like,
like,
haha, we're better than you.
yeah,
Like,
it's like, I'm not trying to say that. And then of course you say that and they're like, oh, let me see your ring. And then you're like, okay. And like, then after that, they're like, wow, it's so beautiful. And then you could just feel the tension growing between the other couple about them eventually getting married. And I'm like, this is all my fault. Oh my god.
I just got to fight for them when they go home.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I'm the worst ever. She's gonna be like talking to his phone now. That's just like rings, emerald cut. Yeah. Like I
Sam
literally
knows what my engagement ring.
Yeah, I do. I literally remember coming into so we were working at Mojo at the time when I got engaged, which is a banana sentence to say in and of
I
itself.
know.
But when I got engaged, I was like there was like 2 other people in the office when I showed up because I went to the office literally the next day after I got
Yes.
engaged. And I remember like somebody like was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "I'm good." And I was like, I'm not gonna just like straight be like, I got engaged yesterday to someone that I've known for like 2 months. Like, because at that point I started working there in September. I got engaged in November. Like, I was still fairly new. So, and then then I told you guys, and
Yeah.
then our boss at the time had shared it with the rest of the company,
Mhm.
which then people were coming up to me. They're like, "Why didn't you say anything?" And I'm like, I don't know. And then people would like talk to me about it, and I'd be like holding my hand or something, and they're just like, "Well, let me see it." And I'm like, "Okay."
I remember you were so nervous to like show it the first. You were like,
It's because it's pretty gaudy. Like it's a not gaudy. I shouldn't say that, but
gorgeous.
it's a large ring, so it's like kind of like in your face a little bit. So I wasn't like I got engaged, like I didn't want to do that because I that's not that like the kind of person that I am. Even though
Yeah.
I adore my ring with like all of my heart. So
Absolutely.
it's like it's a weird in between. And then obviously when people know, it's like one thing. But like then I started my new job and I had to be like, "Hey, I need to take this time off in June because I'm getting married." And they're like, "You're getting married?" And I'm like, "I gotta go through this all over again."
It's like, here's the ring, take a look.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, let us see." And I'm like,
No, it is. It's such, but it's so funny because like being on the opposite side, whenever people are like, "Oh, my fiance, here's my ring," like I'm
oh,
so excited for them.
yeah,
Like
I'm like, literally tell me every single detail about
I ask
everything.
every detail about like I love hearing about it. I think it's like so exciting. But then I already know that like for myself, like showing it and talking, like being the one to bring it up is an uncomfy thing for some reason.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable because again, it's pretentious, it feels
Yes.
like. So you don't wanna be like, "I'm the best person here because I'm getting married." Like, and I think there's a Taylor Tomlinson bit, where
He's
she
my
talks
favorite person
about
ever.
I know you like Taylor Tomlinson. I remember there was a stand-up that she did, like, in her previous relationship, she was engaged at some point,
Yes.
and she talks about how, like, she would walk around Target and, like, look through things with, like, her left hand and, like, she'd, walk past someone and, like, look, and they wouldn't have a ring on, she'd be like, "I'm better than you."
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, I always thought about that because then I would go like, I'm wearing a t-shirt, a sports bra, and Adidas shorts right now. This is how I went out, and I ran some errands before this. Like, this is how I went outside. But I have this fucking rock on my finger, and, like, I'm walking around like, that's normal. Like and, like, it is normal. Like,
It
if
is.
people are gonna see that, they're gonna be like, "Oh, she's wearing her engagement ring, even
Yep.
though she looks like a bum." Like, it's fine.
Yep.
It's weird. It's really weird.
It makes it like puts the whole outfit together too. Like it completes everything. It's like,
It's like
oh, I can be a bum because I'm locked down for life. Like,
yeah, right? Like, it's like, I don't care what anybody thinks about me because I'm getting married. Somebody loves me. Like, like
that is so funny.
it's weird. It's a weird the last year and a half of my life has been so strange. And I'm like so excited to finally I always like have been I've been walking around with my wedding band on. Like just so that I can just like feel how it feels to
Yeah.
like have two because also like you never wear two rings on one finger a lot of the time unless you
Yeah.
have a set like you do, like of the two rings.
Oh yeah, I wear
Yeah.
that every day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I never do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like normally you don't have a set of two rings. So I
I
was
like
like,
how
I
you knew that before I knew it, and I wear this ring every second of my life.
because I remember when you got that ring and I was so excited about it. But yeah, it's just like it's a weird kind of feeling. So I was like wear testing it originally, seeing if I have to get anything sized. And then I was like, no, I just want to wear it. And so I was like walking around like by myself with like my wedding band and my engagement ring on, and I'm like, oh me, I'm just a wife. I'm just at home just working and making dinner. It's fine. It's just what I do. It's just my life now, you know. I just care for a man. Aw. I take care of two cats. Which, by the way, my other cat. So you know Ollie. Most people
Yes.
know Ollie. We do have another cat, Kyle. Kyle had been walking around with his tongue sticking out of his mouth for like a week and a half, and we were like, "That's weird." Like, and it turns out that he had a like major teeth issue, and he had
Nuh-uh.
6 teeth removed yesterday. He's a
6
little
teeth?
yeah, he has his front ones still, like his little canines, but
Can
not
he
canines, felines, whatever. But his back teeth are gone.
eat? Can he eat?
Yeah, like soft food. But
Oh,
he was like all drugged up yesterday, and we were like, "Oh my god!" I was like literally like near tears. I was like, "This cat's gonna hate me because we took him to the vet and like all this stuff." But now he's fine.
oh my god, Kyle.
I know. And no one sees Kyle. Kyle was a failed foster, so he's like very skittish still.
Mhm.
And but today he laid in bed with Michael. And like that was like such a sweet moment because he doesn't normally do that. We
He
were like,
wasn't feeling the best.
yeah, like I was like, oh my god, he must have been in so much pain for so long. And then he's like trying to eat and like yeah. So anyway, that's just a quick side note and my extravagant life. My cat's getting his teeth removed.
Well, I'm glad you guys figured it out, and then now he's gonna be feeling better.
Yes. Yes. And we're gonna do a full wedding episode. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll do a full recap, which good segue. We were talking about this yesterday. And I had the idea that maybe we can throw a couple of like fun predictions out there for Sam's wedding.
Mhm.
That's like we'll see if they happen or not or whatever. Just
Mhm.
something fun to see if like because you don't know a lot of like details about my wedding. You've wanted
No.
me to not really tell you everything. So you could be like more surprised.
Yes.
So I'm interested to hear if you have any predictions for my
Okay.
wedding. And I will not confirm or deny until after.
Okay. All right. Well, the predictions that I have are more just like things that I think are going to happen.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Like, okay.
Because I'm
So,
gonna have some predictions myself because I don't know what's gonna happen.
well, my first prediction is that you cry often. I should I set a line?
Last week,
I'm
I've
gonna
been
say
crying often.
over 5 individual times.
Oh my god, should we be
Yours.
placing like DraftKings, like
Yes.
over under on
Odds.
Sam's crying abilities?
Yes, we should. And I am taking the over. Minus 110 5 times. I think you're gonna cry. I think someone's gonna do the worm at some point.
I love that.
That's another one of my predictions. Fuck, there was another one.
Oh
Wait,
my
here,
God.
you give some. It's gonna come back to me.
I think one of my predictions is that so Michael and I have a choreographed dance. And my prediction there's two outcomes. We either do it perfect or we mess up completely. So, I don't know one of those things is gonna happen.
We should set odds for your entire wedding.
Right? Like, we seriously should.
We should. Over under Taylor Swift songs played.
Oh my god, and the thing is too, I just told the DJ, play Taylor Swift. So I don't know what Taylor Swift songs he's gonna play, but he's definitely gonna play Taylor Swift. Wow. Alright, what songs do we think the DJ is gonna play Taylor Swift? Shake It Off.
Shake It Off. Cruel Summer.
I will literally request Cruel Summer to play. I will demand it.
I feel like he's gonna play a love one. Love Story?
Love Story. That's definitely gonna play.
Okay.
I have that on my must play.
Okay. What's another?
Imagine just like All Too Well 10-minute version.
I would love that.
Everyone just like completely leaves the dance floor. It's just Jordyn and I, and we're just like, maybe you got lost in temptation.
I actually told Spencer that at my after party, I want to sing and scream All Too Well 10-minute version with her. And she was like, done. I was like, I don't want it at my wedding, obviously, because you don't have that much time. Like, it goes by so quick.
Yeah.
I can't take up 10 minutes with the All
10
Too Well.
minutes is a long time. It's a long time at a wedding.
It is.
Like, you don't realize how fast time moves until it's the end of the wedding and you're like, oh, it's over.
Nope, literally.
Yeah.
Oh, other predictions. I predict that you smash cake in Michael's face.
Oh. I will probably go against that prediction.
Really?
I probably won't do it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Just because I don't want him to do that to me.
Fair.
Because I'm going to be spending money on getting my makeup done and I don't want him to wreck my makeup.
That's very fair.
But he would probably allow me to do it, but I don't know if I'm going to.
What other predictions?
I have let's see. I feel like someone will always injure themselves at a wedding. Like one person will. Like at Erin's wedding, her grandma fell. And that was a journey. She fell like right in front of us and we were like, "Oh my god, she was fine." Like all was well. Like but it was her grandma, so we were like, "Oh my god." And we like picked her up and we forgot to tell Erin. Like because we were like we don't want her to worry.
Yeah.
We were like packing up her wedding and I was like, "Oh, by the way, did you know your grandma fell?" And she was just like, "What?" So someone will probably injure or fall at some point in this wedding.
Do you think you'll have wedding crashers?
I hope not. Because I would feel sorry for them because my dad will be there, first of all, and all of his friends will be there.
Yeah.
So if anybody does crash my wedding, they will not actually.
No. Yeah.
At the end of the day, there won't be because my dad will be there.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's a very fair point.
But I don't think so. I don't know. Dude, like that's still a thing. Do people still crash weddings? I feel like weddings are so much more formal than they used to be.
They are. And I feel like the venues are, for the ones that I've been to recently, are a little more isolated.
They are.
Like, it's not like you can just like wander in. Like the only time I've ever heard of like people that I know actually crashing weddings, it was usually on accident at like an all-inclusive resort type thing where they just like accidentally wandered in and then stayed for a minute and left. Like, but that's one thing. Like actually like showing up to a random venue and like being dressed up and crashing a wedding is like absurd.
Yeah, no, it is. And our venue is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's secluded because there is things, but like if you were just like walking down this street and showed up at this venue, it would be like purposeful.
Yeah.
Like there's no sidewalk. You shouldn't be walking down this street. Like it's just like a strip of wedding venues basically because of the view.
Yeah.
So like there's no reason you should be there. But yeah, I think those are some good predictions. We'll see. We'll see if we're right.
My favorite one, I want to see someone do the worm.
You know, at the end of the day, maybe it'll be you.
Maybe it'll be me.
Maybe Jordyn will be like, I'm going to make this happen. Or maybe
tune in a month to find out.
Tune in 1 month when we recap my entire. That's crazy.
I know. We're going to be able to recap wedding, honeymoon, everything.
I'm so excited for my honeymoon. And we're going to an all-inclusive resort, and Michael's never been to an all-inclusive resort before. This will be his first time, and he is so excited. Like, so excited.
Oh my God. So I just went to my first all-inclusive in October in Jamaica. And when I tell you, I could not wrap my head around, like, I could just walk up and ask anyone for anything and they brought it to me. And all I did was like tip them a couple dollars. Like,
see, at this, so we're going to a Sandals, which is like an adult only resort type of deal. They like reject your tips. You're not allowed to tip. So you physically do not pay for anything. It is so and like we were talking about it because like then we were looking at like the website and like it's a new resort, so like we were looking at the hotel, not the hotel, the restaurants like in the resort and everything. And he was like, wait, what if we're in the room? And I was like, we can just order the food to the room, we don't have to leave. And he was like, when does that end? And I was like, I don't think it ever ends. I think you can order whenever you want. And he's like, so I can order anything I want to the room at any time? And I was like, oh my God, this boy's not going to want to leave.
That's like when we were in Jamaica, Brian at every serving got 3 orders of lobster, like, and it came with 2 lobster tails. So we had 6 lobster tails at once, and you just got a different side with each plate. And he's just shoving his face with wait, this was actually the funniest thing ever, because we went to the lobster house. The resort we were at had like 6 really good restaurants. Like the food was like top tier.
Yeah.
But we kept going back to the lobster house because we couldn't get enough of the lobsters or the lobster bisque. We had like 5 bowls of lobster bisque. Like, oh my God. And we're sitting there and Brian's parents went after us knowing that he's been eating nonstop lobster. It was like the end of the night and they were like, guys, we're currently out of lobster. And we get a call and they were like, it's your fault. Like, you ate all the lobsters.
Oh.
And now it's like a running joke that he ate all the lobsters. And that was an Excellence. I may be going to an Excellence in Cancun in November. And I loved that resort. So we'll see.
Cancun. I've been to Mexico 3 times. I actually was just there in August. My dad and I went on like a daddy-daughter vacation. We went to it's like similar. Like it was like an all-inclusive, but like there were some things that you paid for and like whatever. But Mexico is so nice and so wonderful. I love it there. And anything like Dominican Republic, Mexico, all those places, they're just phenomenal. But yeah.
I cannot wait. This will be my first time.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. It's just all-inclusive resorts are the way to go. And like I so respect people who go on their honeymoon in like Europe. Like Erin went to Europe for like 2 weeks and they like walked around and like did stuff. And I was like, I literally love to do nothing. I am a do nothing girl. Like that's just like not how some people are. Like some people like want things to do, which is totally cool. But I asked Michael, I was like, what do you want to do for our honeymoon? He was like, I literally don't care. And I was like, okay, we're not going to do anything.
No.
We're just going to go to an all-inclusive resort. And he was like, okay.
I think like a vacation is different than like a trip. Like a trip is when you're going like to see sights, to do activities, which I'm all down for. But like, if you're telling me like I'm going on a vacation, like I'm picturing the relaxation, doing nothing. And honeymoon is for me 100% a vacation. Like I want to be on a beach with not a child or loud, any annoying thing in sight. Like, not that children are annoying. That sounded
no, but they do, especially when you're on vacation and you want to relax and like there are children around, which is like the other thing. It's like Michael started watching like YouTube videos on like all-inclusive resorts because he's a grandpa and he's like researching, and so now he gets like all these suggested videos on his YouTube, and one of them was these people went on a Disney cruise, like an all-inclusive Disney cruise, and they were a single, like no children, just a couple, like went on this Disney cruise, and he was like, we should do this. And I was like, think about that for 2 more seconds. On a boat in the middle of the ocean, children can't go anywhere.
Yeah, no.
And he was like, you're right. And I was like, yeah.
That's something you do with the kids one day.
Exactly. I was like, we can go when we have children
Yeah.
who are like cognizant and can. I'm so anti Disney taking babies to Disney.
Yeah.
Disney is a lot of money. And if I'm taking my children there, they're gonna remember it.
Yes.
Okay? Because my
Also,
parents took me when I was really young. I don't remember it until the second time we went, like, I was in like kindergarten, first grade.
yeah, I was like 7 when we went to Disney, and I like was aware, like I have memories of it, but even then, like I don't fully
Remember it.
remember.
I went when I was in high school. I barely remember it.
Yeah. Do you want to hear something so crazy though? Speaking of Disney and taking kids too young. So if I was like 6 or 7, Spencer was 3 or 4. Or yeah, like 3 or 4. No. Yeah, 3 or 4. And all of a sudden, Spencer was a very like rebellious child. And
Interesting.
right? Because now she's like very not rebellious, but she really was. Like my mom would be like, stop jumping on that. And she'd look at my mom and be like, no, and like keep doing it. Like she did not give a fuck about anything.
Oh my God.
And so we're in Disney World and she was obsessed with that. It was like JoJo's Circus. Do you
Okay.
remember that? The
No.
girl with the red hair. It was some Disney.
Yes.
Yes. It was like some niche Disney children's show.
Mhm.
And she was obsessed with JoJo. And there was a JoJo doll, and we were on our way to a ride. And so Spencer was like, "What? Like, get me the doll, get me the doll." And my mom was like, "No, we can't. Like, keep coming." So we went on the ride. We get off the ride. We're like hanging out there. We're like the spritzers. So we're all standing there. This is like the one part of Disney I vividly remember. My grandma, for some reason, had $100 check, not even like check, in her pocket. Spencer took it, looks at it, and goes, "Awesome." Goes back, leaves, takes our cousin that's a year younger than her, so she was 2 or 3, takes her with Spencer, and Spencer goes to buy the JoJo doll. We lose both of them. My mom is frantically running all over. We shut the gates of Disney World to make sure that they didn't get kidnapped and no one could take them out of the park. So we shut down Disney. Everyone's running all over, and we find her at the register trying to hand the woman the check with the JoJo doll in hand. And the woman's looking around like, where the fuck is your family? Like, and my mom was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
So
insane.
it was absurd. And that's literally like the only part of Disney that I can recall like super, super vividly, because everyone was just so scared. Like, that we lost Spencer and Mia.
Everyone has that one Disney memory.
Yes.
Like my one Disney memory that I remember is the Jaws ride, because I was almost too small to ride it. I don't know if you ever rode the Jaws
I
ride.
don't think I did.
Because they shut it down because the mechanical fucking shark like took off a kid's arm or something.
Shut up.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's completely true, but
No,
something happened. They shut the ride down.
Okay.
But they literally say, do not put children next to the window. So what does my dad do? He put me next to the window. I was hyperventilating. Like, oh my, and like, it's like a big mechanical shark. It's supposed to be like the Jaws ride. The water comes on fire. Like you know, like those rides where like the person who's like running the ride pretends to act like something's wrong.
Yes.
And, like, you know, it's not. But like, if you're a kid, you're like, wait, is something actually going on? So it was like that kind of thing. So like, and they had like a fake gun, and like this guy has this straight up like rifle, and he's like, all right, everyone stay calm, like we're gonna kill this shark like this. And I was like, oh my God. And then the shark comes up and hits the boat, and it hit the boat like where I was sitting. I was just sobbing. I was like, I'm gonna die here. And then I had to pee really bad. I didn't pee my pants, but I was like, I have to pee. And my dad was like, now's not a good time. And then we get off the ride, and I was like, I have to pee. And my brother, I think, had like fast passes for a ride or something to go. So him and my mom went on this ride. My dad has me like, he's like a straight up NFL running back, holding me under his arm like a loaf of bread, sprinting across the Disney park because I had to pee. And I was like, Dad, if you don't take me pee right now, I'm gonna pee in my pants. And he was like, I think I was like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is not when I was in high school. Don't worry.
Yeah, like, I was was actually 22.
Yeah. Like 2 years ago. No, and that's like my distinct memory. And when my mom went on the Hulk roller coaster with my brother, and that was Universal, but maybe the Jaws ride was Universal. Maybe that's where they went.
Maybe I've never been to Universal.
Maybe that was it then.
Okay.
It's very possible that was the ride that they went on, and we ended
Okay.
up finding them on the roller coaster, and my mom's, and you just like see them go in like a loop, and there's just this white object just like flying through the sky and like falling into the water, and my mom got off the ride and she goes, "I lost my hat." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "That's what we saw flying through the air."
That's at least it wasn't like a shoe. I thought she was gonna say shoe, and I was like, that'd be bad.
She lost her hat. It wasn't that big of a deal, but she was very scared. And because the Hulk is not, it's scary. I got like severe like whiplash on the Hulk.
Really?
I should probably sue. Yeah.
Do it. Get your bag, girl.
I can't now. That was like 2 years ago. But anyway, Disney stories aside, wedding
how'd
things
we get
aside.
on Disney?
I don't know. I don't know how we got here, but we do have things to talk about.
We do.
One of them being literally, I just saw a tweet today about how it was like covering the NFL right now is like very peaceful. But we do have the Justin Jefferson deal that happened, making him the most paid non-quarterback in the league. Right? I think that's right. But yeah, and I think CMC got paid today.
He did. He got extended.
Yes. But yeah, thoughts on Jay Jetta's deal?
Well, my mind, as it always does, immediately goes to Philly, and this deal just makes me so grateful that we locked down AJ Brown and Devontae Smith like ahead of this, because now we're going to see that shift in the wide receiver market. And you have guys like Jamar Chase that's still, I mean, Jalen Waddle got his wheel done, but Jamar Chase still hasn't been paid. CD hasn't been paid. And this deal is going to change the market no matter what, whether they're as good as him or not. Like, this deal changes everything. So I'm just very glad that we got our guys locked down when we did. And me saying that it's a big deal, it's a huge contract. However, like, if anyone in the league deserves it, it's Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, for sure. He's one of the greatest receivers in the league.
Yeah.
And
he's going to be one of the greatest of all time. If like, he's already doing greatest of all time things.
Yeah. A 4-year, $140 million contract extension. And everyone was talking about, now that they have JJ McCarthy, it's going to be JJ to JJ. Figuring that will happen, and JJ McCarthy is not a huge bust. But, oh yeah, look at that. Philadelphia's AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown got paid a lot of money too recently. And I was surprised. Not because he's bad, but because, like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting him to get that type of deal.
I swear, it's just like, I feel like all the wide receivers were anticipating the Justin Jefferson deal, and maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown was like, I know how much he's gonna make, like, you can pay me less, but like, I still need a lot.
Yeah, no, he definitely,
because then they don't all want to look underpaid compared to him.
Right. And then it's like, you can't have anyone that's going to be paid more than Justin Jefferson.
Exactly.
Right now. Like, I can't really think of a wide receiver who should get paid more than Justin Jefferson. Although a lot of Cowboys fans are making the argument for CeeDee Lamb.
I mean, let them make that. Let the Cowboys pay him $150 million. I do not give a fuck.
Like, no, yeah, me neither. Me neither. It's like, that's just like one less person that they have to pay.
Literally. I am really curious to see the Jamar Chase deal, though, whenever that comes.
That'll be interesting, yeah. Because, like, one, they're paying Joey B a lot of money. And, like, they don't really have any other, like, superstars on their team to pay, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, not really. Yeah,
where's Joe Mixon?
He left. He went to Houston, right?
I feel like every time I don't know where someone went, I'm like, they went to Houston.
He did go to Houston.
Okay. Damn, Houston is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they lost Joe Mixon already. Who is the Bengals running back?
Is it? I feel like it starts with a P. Bengals running back.
Zach Moss?
Zach Moss is on the Wait. Zach Moss is on the Bengals?
He's literally their starting running back.
Wait, he was on the Colts though, right?
I thought he was in Buffalo.
That's the offseason we've been having. It's starting.
Me and Sam both legitimately work in sports for a living.
No, literally, I should know this. Wait. Zach Moss.
Let me go to his Wikipedia.
He was definitely on the Bills and he was on the Colts. Okay, we're both right.
Okay, so he went from Bills to Colts to Bengals.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Pop off, Zach Moss.
Yeah, and I remember him on the Colts specifically last year though because Jonathan Taylor was out for a couple games.
Yes, you know what? You are 100% correct.
Yeah, and I just remember people like who had him on their fantasy.
Yes,
like he popped off for like a week or two.
I'm pretty sure Caden had my sister's boyfriend had Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor, which was like so smart.
That is very smart.
Yeah,
that was very smart.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I love when the NFL offseason gets like this. We like forget things.
Yes. That's what happened, especially this offseason. There were so many big trades. Like
there were
early. Like
there were.
Like free agency was crazy, but the offseason's been quiet because free agency was so crazy. So like it's been so long since all this shit happened.
That was like 2-3 months ago.
Yes, I have no idea what's going on right now.
You could tell me that was at least 2 years ago, and I would be like, yeah.
No, this offseason, I think because it's been so quiet, like it feels like it's going on for months, and like we still have 2 months.
Yeah, it's literally was just like Rashee Rice, just like keeps getting arrested. And it's like, that's what's been holding us afloat. And after like the second arrest, we were like, all right, whatever.
We get it. He's going to keep getting arrested.
Yeah, it's fine.
Also, speaking of Zach Moss, speaking of the Bengals.
Yeah.
Do we fear they're not going to be good this season?
I really, last year I wasn't even thinking that they were going to be that good.
No.
Like sorry.
We
were so high and mighty on them for such a long time. And I mean, they did make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But
and like this, I still think Joe Burrow has it. I just overall like the organization right now, I don't think they have the pieces.
I don't think so either. I think that that's Lamar's and the Ravens' division to lose. I don't think do you think Russell Wilson and the Steelers are going to win that division? I don't think so.
No, and I don't think Justin Fields is ready.
No.
Especially not coming into the season as a starter. No. I think next year, if Justin Fields is the starter for the Bengals or for the Steelers, it's a completely different story.
I forgot Justin Fields was on the Steelers.
Yeah.
I forgot that happened. Oh my God.
It's been crazy.
Wait, and then there's the Browns. Who's the Browns? Oh, Deshaun, right.
Yeah, sadly. Also is Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell going to be the starter for the Raiders?
Didn't they draft a quarterback?
No. They drafted another tight end for the second year in a row.
On the ESPN Raiders depth chart, they have Aiden O'Connell as QB1, but I so strongly think that Gardner Minshew can win that job.
I do too.
I hope he does. He deserves it.
That's hysterical.
He's such a good quarterback.
He really is.
I will not forget ever, which is funny because I was in Vegas, but I had a couple of drinks and I was just talking out of my ass basically. And I just anyone who would listen, I was like, I would take a bullet for Gardner Minshew to continue playing football forever. Yep. Like I was like, it was like the most random thing, but I was literally like, no, I don't think you understand. I adore watching that man play football.
I still have his Eagles jersey.
Yeah.
Hanging in my closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, what a time.
This is so random. Have you seen Tua lately? This just made me think of your jersey collection.
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, his hair's like long now. And it looks like he got like a perm, unless that's just like his natural hair, which it might be. Actually, yeah,
those
probably
Hawaiian luscious curls.
Yeah, and they're like not like long, like it's like like temple length. Just please look it up because I literally saw him posing with a guy in his jersey who kind of looked like Tua Tagovailoa, and I was like, I thought Tua was the fan. Like that, like he looks less.
Oh
like,
my god, he looks adorable.
He does look very good. But I was just like so jarred. I was like, that's not Tua, and it definitely it was.
No, he does look like a different person.
Yeah, and I think he's also like he must have been like relaxing, and he's gotten a tan, and he's not like gotten this like winter lull in his skin.
Yes.
Like he's thriving, but
he's gonna thrive. Dolphins, Eagles, Super Bowl.
He's supposed to be getting paid too.
He should,
right?
I'll give him any penny I got.
But then they're not gonna be able to pay Tyreek.
Well,
or Jalen.
Have Tyreek for another year or two.
One more year.
So they win the Super Bowl. No, Eagles are winning the Super Bowl this year. They go to the Super Bowl this year to lose to the Eagles.
Okay.
Case closed.
Did you see I think I sent it to you on TikTok, the video of the guy who lives in Philly who looks just like Jalen Hurts and was like walking around and people were like taking pictures with him?
Yes.
And I guess it's like his girlfriend's like filming it and she's like, everyone thinks my boyfriend is Jalen Hurts. It was weird. It was uncanny. It did really look like him.
Yes. You know, he's got doppelgangers.
He sure does. He sure does. But there's more sports things that we can talk about.
Yes. Which is riling me up.
No, it's the WNBA drama that is happening is so bananas. And the things that are coming out of it on the media side of things is crazy as well.
Yes. Did you see Pat McAfee?
What demon possessed him to say that on national television?
And I genuinely think he meant it in like an upbeat way, but I heard it and I was just like, what? For those that don't know, and I don't mean, he came out and apologized for this. He was like, I did not mean this in a disrespectful way at all. I didn't take it as disrespectful. I thought it was funny. I just thought it was so absurd. But he's like talking about all the WNBA drama, and he's like, and then there's this white bitch from Indiana, and pops up Caitlin Clark, and it was just so jarring.
I thought I saw because the first video I saw of it was on like an NFL like meme account, like so stupid. I thought it was like dubbed over, like I thought it wasn't real, and I was like, oh haha, that's funny. And then I went on Twitter, and it was like, oh no, this is real.
Yeah,
and I was like, Pat, what on ESPN?
I know.
On live ESPN, you said this white bitch from Indiana. Sir, are you kidding me?
I saw a meme after it. This is so bad. That said, Caitlin Clark appears to be the first white woman experiencing intense racism. And I was like, because literally everyone hates her.
Everybody hates her. And like literally there was the Kennedy Carter thing that just happened where they were playing the Chicago Sky and she like it was a flagrant foul.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what the league said. And she just fucking pushed her over for no reason. Like I was like, holy crap. And just throwing elbows.
Yeah.
And like you can see I've been watching Caitlin Clark's like post games. Girl looks defeated.
She really does.
She's like sitting there and she's just like, I feel like basically these aren't her exact words, but what she's basically saying is like, I'm being so targeted right now and I'm so tired. Like I'm trying so hard to be like a good advocate for women's sports and like everybody hates me.
No, literally, she is getting wrecked out there. I saw another meme of these two kids that had on like intense football pads and like helmets, and it's like, did you see it? And then the one just like steamrolls the other, throws them into like the side of the wall.
They're in like a Dick's or something.
Yes,
like, or like a Modell's. I don't even know if Modell's are still around, but like in like a sporting store.
Yeah.
And they were just like, yeah, every single person in the WNBA versing Caitlin Clark.
Which like I just I do not get it. And then also Angel Reese, who like it just frustrates me so much because there's some things she says where I'm like, yes, like this. It like when she talks about her family and her mom and her passions, I'm like, yes, like this is what we need more of. And then I just hate the way she talks about other athletes, like the way she talked about Caitlyn, where she was like, it's not just her, like it's also me. Like
She did say, like, in that video, people really cut it off at that part.
okay,
But
all right, correct.
Later, I just found this out today.
Okay.
Later in the interview, she does say she says, like, it's all of us, or like
Okay.
something like that. Like, she was like, we are women in sports kind of thing.
Okay,
So
see, like I never see that side of it.
exactly, because people want to paint, they need a villain.
That's
And Angel
awful.
Reese is a good person for people to paint as a villain because they have the beef from college. So it's like, but yeah. But still, like, Angel Reese has come out and said some things about Caitlin Clark. And then she comes out and says, like, me and Caitlin are friends. And so it's like, I want the beef because the beef makes it exciting.
Yeah.
I think that it's the same as the NBA. You know, these guys hate each other. They, you know, they foul each other, they go at each other, and that's like fun. And it's fun in women's sports too. But like right now, it's like really just centered on one person.
Yes.
Because not as many people know about all the other beefs that are probably happening within the WNBA. Like Caitlin Clark is the name and Caitlin Clark is the story. So that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I'm like, damn, Caitlin Clark's just out here trying to play basketball and like
getting wrecked.
And she's a competitive player. Yes. Like there's no denying the fact that she will scream in your face. She will get competitive. Like that's the nature of her, and that's why she's so good. But like at the same time, you know, Becky Hammon, Asia Wilson, like the guys from the athletes from the Aces, like they were like coming at her, and I was like, damn, okay. Yeah. Like I think they're just probably frustrated that like everyone's paying attention now.
I know,
and like not that they're getting paid attention to, but it's like because of this one person. When there's a lot of people that are now getting attention. But I mean, I understand the frustration, but at the same time, it's like you guys have been waiting so long for the views and for the eyes, and like you have them. You have them.
Yes, and like being fully transparent, the reason I got into college basketball the way I did, I knew about Paige. I loved Paige. I knew about Haley. I loved Haley. But like the reason I started actively watching was because of Caitlin Clark and because like she was just mesmerizing. And now like I love Caitlin Clark, but I love everyone. What's making me not love everyone is like the way other people are acting and like the vets too. Like this isn't just the rookies. Like the vets have been awful. And it's just sad. And like I understand competitive. Like obviously we want drama, we want competitive, but I want it to be about like more like a game. Like I want it to be like I want to beat her. Like I want that aspect rather than just like, oh, like she's getting more of the media attention, so we don't like her. Like that isn't that's not the vibes.
Yeah, and then it puts all this other stuff out into the media, like Charles Barkley talking about women being petty.
Yes, like
that's no, because they're acting the same way as the men do, and it's like you're not calling the men petty.
This is what like the NBA is literally lacking because NBA players, like other than a select few, don't have passion anymore. They just like do it and they're divas. Like when you think back, and I didn't even get to like fully experience this, but like when Michael Jordan was playing, like he's out there to kill people. Like if he loses, his week is wrecked. Like that's that was Kobe's mindset. Like that is, and then you had like the crazy rivalries back then. Like that's what I want for the WNBA. And like we're so close to that. But right now it feels a little personal, and that's where it's losing me.
Yeah.
But I love it. I mean, it's so entertaining.
The games
are incredible. Like this league, like I have become like such a big women's basketball fan.
It's so entertaining.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining, even with all this craziness going on. And Pat McAfee just saying whatever he wants on the
Pat McAfee is a national treasure.
He is. And like sometimes he does put out like really, really good content. And like then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I can't stand listening to him anymore. There's no in between. It's It's like I either hate listening to him or like he's actually saying something interesting and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll like listen to what you have to say."
Yes.
There's no in between. I can't just like have Pat McAfee on in the background
No.
because he's just screaming at you. And you're
It's
like, "Oh my
it's overwhelming.
It is. He's a psychopath. He
Yeah.
is for real.
I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Pat McAfee. I just can't. Like, if we were given a topic to like discuss, I just picture me and him going head to head, and I'm like,
Yeah. No, he's
Those
and
would
he's
be
like a diehard Indiana fan too. So it's like you don't see too many of those going up against Philly fans. Could be interesting.
Yep.
ESPN, listen to us. We have good content ideas.
yes. If you need us.
Yes, here we are. All right, we can either go into music or books. What are you feeling? We're about 50 minutes in, so we can cut one.
Well, let's briefly. We're getting new music.
Yeah, we'll talk briefly about our new music. I'm so excited about this.
I am so excited. The amount of good music that has come out this year has been unbelievable. And Sabrina, as of right now, is going to be like the cherry on top for me. And oh my God, I cannot get sick of espresso. Like,
no, I think every single person in the world knows the song Espresso right now. Like, literally, it's so good. It's like that 2000s pop is so back. And like, it's wonderful.
Pop star.
No, she is a pop star. And literally, like, I freaking adore Sabrina Carpenter. Like, my TikTok is more Sabrina Carpenter right now than it is Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Like, I'm so obsessed with her. It's I'm literally like everything she does. I love the sound of her voice.
Yes.
I love the way she performs. I adore it.
No, she's mesmerizing to watch.
She really is. She has the fun dance moves.
Yeah.
She's got the Mi Espresso vibe, you know, she's got the cute outfits, the platform boots.
Mhm.
I'm obsessed with it.
Mhm.
And when she put out this album art for Short and Sweet, announcing that it was going to come out in August, so excited about that.
Mhm.
I put it on my story and immediately my friend Kat swiped up on it and she was like, "If you want me to sit in the queue with you for tickets, we will go." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna go see Sabrina Carpenter. Let's go."
Yeah.
I want to see her live so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
No, that absolutely has to happen. I also have to see Gracie Abrams. She comes to Philly October 8th. So like that's a must for me this year. And yeah, I'm so excited. She also said that we get a something Thursday.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's gonna be another single.
I would shit my pants, to be quite honest with you. I would be so excited.
I like need one.
No, it's so good. And literally, I love hearing Michael sing Espresso. Like, Michael walks around all the time going, "'Cause I'm a singer."
Yeah. It's addicting.
I don't know what she put in the Mi Espresso, but it's narcotics, apparently.
And it's so funny because the first time I ever listened to it, I didn't get it. Like, I was like, I didn't get the sound, and I was like, huh.
Oh, really?
And then all of a sudden, I just caught myself humming it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? So
No,
I was like, let me go listen again. And then I listened again, and I was like, okay. And then I haven't stopped since. So
the first time I heard the line, "I'm working late because I'm a singer," I was like, okay.
yeah.
And like the rest of that, I was like vibing, but I heard that song and when she was like, "'Cause I'm a singer," I was like, Sabrina, what are you doing? And then I heard it like 2 or 3 more times and I was like, okay, I get it.
'Cause I'm a singer.
'Cause I'm a singer. It's just so freaking good. Another wedding prediction. That song will play at my wedding because I will request it.
Yup.
And I need to hear that song at my wedding.
It will.
Yes. Have you listened to the Billie Eilish album?
Yes.
It's very good.
Very good. Like,
I really like it.
Potentially my favorite album of hers.
Really?
Potentially.
I never listened to like any of her other albums, just like the singles and like the popular songs off of them. But I was like, I'm interested in this album, so I played it like in full and I was like, it's short. And I was like, this is really good music.
Yes.
Like, he's very talented.
The greatest.
Oh, the greatest. I love Birds of a Feather.
Yeah.
That one's so
Birds of a feather, we
Yeah, so good. But yeah, the Billie Eilish album is also very good. And
Yeah.
taking over TikTok.
Taking over. And this is what me and Sam talked about this briefly. We have until February, but it just makes me think like how crazy the Grammys are going to be this year. Because you have Taylor dropped an album, Beyonce dropped an album, Billie dropped an album, Dua Lipa dropped an album. There's another big name that I am forgetting, but then like Olivia dropped an album, Sabrina dropped an album, Gracie's dropping an album. Like all the girlies are working. And then also Katy Perry and Lady Gaga are also rumored to be dropping albums this summer.
Oh.
So like there's a lot of music and it's all good. Oh, Ariana Grande. That was the big one I was missing.
Oh, yeah.
How are they going to pick? And then they're going to have to throw a man in there. Why aren't the men working anymore?
What happened to the men?
Where did the men go? Do you know how badly I would kill for a Weeknd or Justin Bieber album? Like Justin Bieber's getting ready to be a dad. We probably won't get music, but
it would Noah Khan be considered for next year's Grammys, or was that last year's Grammy?
Last year, and he didn't win.
Okay. Right. No, because he was there. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was for like best new artist or something.
Right. Okay. I'm like going through all my albums that I've recently added.
There's a lot.
No, there's a lot of good ones. Yeah, the Ariana Grande, Guts, Tortured Poets, the Kendrick songs,
yeah,
the tracks. Yeah, it's gonna be a journey.
It is.
It's gonna be a very interesting Grammys. Oh, real quick before we get into the last segment of the show.
Yeah.
I think Reputation Taylor's version is going to get dropped on the 13th. Or announced on the 13th.
Of June?
6/13. 6/13. Sixth album. Number 13. Thursday. Liverpool, night 1.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I've seen so many different theories. One of them I saw that I was going to talk about, but it's like been debunked now because it had to do with her outfits. Okay. And now it's not flowing anymore. Okay. But like there's just been like all these different like little Easter eggs that people have been finding. The shredding of the suit, the bodysuit, not the bodysuit, the outfit she's wearing is like shedding. Like the skin of the snakes are shedding. And they're like, she wouldn't, like if her bodysuit was falling apart, she wouldn't just like leave it like that. Like she would have it fixed. It's like, oh no, like that's purposeful. And like I genuinely think sixth month of the year on the 13th, night 1 of a new city, Reputation Taylor's version. Announcement.
I would die.
We'll see. Maybe she'll like do it as a wedding present for me. But it's fine.
Can you imagine?
I invited her to my wedding, but obviously she's not going to be able to make it because she'll be in England.
I was going to say, I also saw a theory about something with March 14th. There's been a lot of 3/14s, and then this is where it gets crazy. There's been a lot of Easter eggs of her like hinting at March 14th.
Next
like,
year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on March 14th is like a blood moon solar eclipse.
Oh God.
Are you ready? No, this is a journey, but stick with me. So then they connected it to the Tortured Poets Department lyric where it's from Clara Bow, half moonshine, full eclipse. And then they connected it back to Midnight's because when
blood moon lips.
The blood moon lips. And also there's a blood moon vinyl that was in the music video, like front and center, transitioning from Midnight's to Tortured Poets Department. So they're like March 14th is significant in some way.
Okay, so she'll announce it next week and it'll be for March 14th.
or maybe March 14th is like debut. Like maybe she's like really getting ahead.
I'm so I don't know. I'm excited for Reputation. I'm so excited for debut though.
Me fucking too.
I feel like it's going to be such a freaking eye-opening experience.
Because I've gone back and listened to debut recently, and I'm like, it is so crazy that this album that I listened to in first grade, like I still relate to. I was 6 when or 7 when debut came out.
So that means I was 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That
I
is
used to listen or watch the music videos on Yahoo Music in my computer room. And
yeah.
me and my friends would just sit around and watch the Tim McGraw and Our Song music videos.
The Our Song music video clip just came up on my TikTok recently. If I go back to the Eras tour, which I probably won't, but if I ever do, I'm going as blue dressed debut Taylor from Our Song music video. I decided that. Anyways,
That makes
computer
sense.
rooms.
And computer rooms.
The kids don't know about computer rooms.
They don't.
We had to share. And then we had to get off the internet so mom could pick up the phone. Dial up. Guys don't even know.
They didn't suffer like we did.
All right, let's wrap up the show. We haven't done a book talk in a while because I have finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, but we've been reading quite a lot.
Yeah, I've read a lot.
So I figured we can kind of update each other on our book journey so far. I know you've been knee deep in Throne of Glass. So without spoiling anything,
Yeah.
how have you been enjoying it so far?
Sam, I may like it better than A Court of Thorns and Roses.
That is insane to me.
I didn't think it was possible. People told me I would, and I did not believe them. I should have. It is, and this is not spoiling anything. This is just vibes.
Yeah.
If you think of Game of Thrones, Hunger Games, A Court of Thorns and Roses, all in one, that's Throne of Glass.
That's insane.
Yep. And there are like multiple different ways that you can read the series. There's like a prequel. Mm-hmm. And so some people start with the prequel and just read straight through. I went with, it was just like a guide from Pinterest. It was called The Romantic Route. And it says it positions Assassin's Blade where it's going to like hurt you the most. So I'm reading it 4th. And then books, I think 6 and 7, you have to tandem read. You read them at the same time.
Yes, I remember you mentioning that to me, which is insane.
Crazy. I'm very excited for that. But no, this series, like, the characters, like, I am just so passionate about this series. And I love it so much. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I'm so glad. I heard a lot of good things about Crescent City from Erin. She's finished with it.
Good.
Yeah, she said it was a lot of fun and she really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I've heard so many things about Throne of Glass. Like, and I keep trying to like TikTok keeps trying to push it on me, and I keep like swiping away from it so I don't ruin anything for myself because I'm probably not going to get to it for like another like 8 to 9 months. It's like I don't want anything spoiled for me. But that's amazing. What book do you want?
The 3rd.
Oh, wow. You're barreling through those things.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. The one, it took me like 3 or 4 days to get to page like 150 or whatever. And the first 2 are about like 400 and change-ish. And I was book 2. It took me a couple days to get up to 150. And then me and Brian were sitting there and I was like, I can't stop. And he was like, I'll play video games. Like, keep going. And then by the time he turned around, he was like, Jordyn, I was like, done. Like, and like, he was like, what the fuck? I was like, I flew through it. Like, and it was like, I was reading in the afternoon, I was reading in the evening, and then it was night. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I finished it. And he watched me finish it. And I was like,
oh my God.
It was, and that book, when it ended, I was sitting there reading it and I went,
yeah.
And I just froze for like minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like, it took me.
Then you're like, who do I talk to about this?
Right? I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? And then it took me a couple days to start book 3. And still, like, I'm only like 80 or so pages into it because the end of book 2 was so good that I'm like getting it, like oiling everything back up to go through things again.
Yeah. Well, that's how I was at the end. So I read Fourth Wing and I finished it, and I don't fly through books as fast as everyone else does, but I started this at the bachelorette party and I finished it like a week ago.
Perfect. I mean, that's a hefty book.
No, yeah, I mean, it's pretty thick. But like she's a little girthy, but it was very, very good.
So I'm excited for that one.
Same exact vibes as Reese and Feyre.
Really?
Same vibes. They literally, girl, a little bit like lower, whoopsies. Like low, not lower class, but like not super. What's the word I'm looking for? Like she can't fight. She can't really do like a lot of things. Weaker, and then she's like building herself up, and then super hot, dark, mysterious guy starts as villain, but also wants to kill her, but also doesn't.
Are you ruining it for me?
I'm not.
Promise?
That's literally like the first like 20 pages.
Okay.
It's not at all.
Okay.
But it literally same exact vibes.
Okay. I cannot wait because I live for those vibes.
Yeah, no, it was like I felt very comfortable reading this. Like it wasn't anything like so crazy that I was like, oh my god, except the end. The end did have something that I did the same thing. I went, and like I sat there and then I looked at Michael and I like said to him what happened. He goes, okay. And I was like, you don't get it. You didn't just read all this. Like, are you kidding? But no, like the end did get me. It was something I was not expecting whatsoever. But
I cannot wait because I'm a little nervous to like get out of the Moss universe.
No, this is a good transition.
Good.
Because it's not as intense, but the same types of vibes and same amount of like action to intimacy to, romance. Like it's like very similar in terms of that. But I immediately started Iron Flame right after. It literally, like, this could be one big book. Like it picks up exactly where it leaves you off. So
I kind of love that.
No, like it literally wasn't like anything like, sometimes you like jump into the second book and it's like takes like 50 pages to like get back to where you were. This literally was like, here we are.
That is what I'm struggling with now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm literally in that right now.
It's just it was nice to like just jump right back into it. And I read like the first like 20 pages like right after I finished that book and I was like, I feel like I'm still reading the same book.
Yeah.
There is like that like politics in it as well. Like that like, ACOTAR had. Yeah. But like not too much politics that you're like, I don't care. Like, like I don't want to like the whole thing is like I'm not reading about this politics. I'm reading because I want to hear like the substance of the story. Yes. But it's got enough of all that. So
I cannot wait.
Highly, highly, highly recommend. And then
I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm like listening to books too and reading books. I'm almost done with a book called A Fate Inked in Blood on my audiobook.
Ooh.
I'm reading it because I'm in a book club with my cousins and Catherine, which was started without me. I was included after the fact, and I was like, wait, how am I in this book club with all of my cousins and their significant others and my best friend? I was like, me? And they're like, oh yeah, come read the book too. And I was like, oh, thanks, cool.
Thank you, sounds great.
Yeah, but I've been listening to it because they were like, yeah, we're already almost done with the book. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta just listen to it.
Yeah.
It lost me a little bit in the middle. It's like a Icelandic, Nordic type of vibe.
Ooh.
But I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And it's got like the spice and everything in it. But I was like, if I was reading this physically, I probably would have never picked it back up.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah. But that's fair. That's our updated book talk.
Yes. Hope we'll see where I'm at in Heir of Fire, Throne of Glass 3.
Oh god, by the time we're back, you're gonna be done with the freaking series.
That's what, but the last book is 1,000 pages.
That's insane. I don't think I've ever read a book that's 1,000 pages.
Well, it's like 978, but like very extreme. Like it's a hefty.
But you've read big books like that. You've read like It.
Yeah, it was I think 1,100 pages.
Yeah, I don't think I've read anything bigger than like Silver Flames was like what 800, 700.
I thought Silver Flames got to 9. No.
Oh, does it? Oh, then that's the longest book I've ever read.
Did you ever read Twilight?
Yeah.
Wasn't Breaking Dawn?
Well, that font was like freaking size 18. Like I was like, you could read this to a child.
That's true. Wait,
So
before we head off, I just want to see how long Silver Flames was. Oh no, you're right. Silver Flames was only 757.
yeah. So
That's like a whole added book on the end of this.
yeah, it's like 300 almost 300 pages. That's crazy. But yeah, so I'm excited to continue reading. I'm probably gonna read after this and just sit my butt down, get some relaxation time in before I'm
big
a
day.
whirlwind of a person next week.
We're preparing for Sam's wedding, and guys, we are going to miss you so much over the next couple of weeks. Make sure to follow us on socials everywhere if you aren't on already at the unsolicited_podcast for TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Follow us on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn. If you liked this episode and want to see us when we're back, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. We're also available on all audio podcast platforms as well. We will miss you. And guys, by the time we come back, Sam's going to be a wife.
I'm gonna be a wife! Oh my god.
Bye.
Bye.